From Prairie Lodge, this is the Sun City Report, a program to keep you up to date on what's happening in Sun City, Huntley. Your host is your fellow Sun City resident, WGN's Orion Samuelson.
We continue with the Sun City Report, and it's always good to welcome Dave Johnson, the village manager of Huntley, here on the program. Dave, it's good to have you back again.
Thanks for having me back. My pleasure to be here.
Busy times, but not as busy as you would like. Anything
true.
Happening on development at all?
Orion, I wish I could tell you that we have a number of projects in the pipeline, but we are really feeling the impact of the national recession, and we believe that we're well positioned once the economy turns, and to see additional growth from a commercial and retail standpoint here in Huntley. But unfortunately, I don't have anything new to report this time, but we are excited about where we sit for when the world turns.
You said it is as quiet as you have ever seen it in your career.
It is, and again, I go back to when I started here, the population was 3,000, and it would not be uncommon to come back to your desk and have 15 to 20 phone messages to return. And unfortunately, we're not seeing that interest right now, but again, we're confident that when things turn back, Huntley is a great place to be, and we are on the radar screen, and we continue to sell the community as a great place to do business.
Well, you are busy with Highway 47. I'm
We are.
seeing things happening. Stores are closing. So again, let's refresh. Where will the 4 lanes start and where will it end?
Well, we'll pick the project up starting at Kreutzer Road, or I should say the state will, and they'll pick up at Kreutzer Road and take that improvement all the way north to Reed Road.
And that means that some buildings will be torn down and businesses will move. Can you kind of bring me up to date on
Sure.
what's happening business-wise?
Yeah, we've already started to see some of that activity take place along the Route 47 corridor, particularly in the area of Main Street. We've seen the SS Clipper, that haircutting business has moved to Dean Street and the Friend Office Plaza, so we're happy to see that they've relocated in town. Randy's Cycle, he has relocated outside of town out to the Marengo area out west, and that's something that he had indicated to us for quite some time that he'd like to do. And then the gas station, the Marathon gas station, that will also is already closed for the project, and the auto repair shop just south of Marathon is also closed, and we're talking to them about relocating in town as well. And then we've got a couple of smaller buildings that don't house any businesses at this point. The old auto dealership on the south east corner of Main Street and 47, and then the industrial building at the northwest corner as well. So those will all be raised as a part of this project.
With the economic downturn, is that making any difference in the bidding on this kind of a construction project? Are they a little more hungry?
It certainly did, and the state project, the estimated engineer's estimate for the project was approximately $35 million. We saw the bids come in the $24 million range, so there was significant reduction from the engineer's estimate. The village's share of the project originally was estimated to be $6 million, and that was for roadway, lighting, sidewalks, our water and sewer improvements. We are hopeful that our numbers also were reduced as well.
Now, along with businesses and buildings and everything else, what about utilities, electricity and gas? Does that all have to be moved?
It is, and that activity is already started on the east side of Route 47 along Kreutzer, north of Kreutzer Road. The lines have been relocated from the west side of Route 47 to the east side. That has taken place all the way up to Mobile, just south of Main Street. We'll also see some additional activity north of there with the power lines, and we're still working with the state and Commonwealth Edison to bury some of the lines up on the gateway into town from the north side, and we believe that we've reached a resolution on that issue. And we'll see NICOR out there probably within the next week or two for anywhere from 2 to 3 months with some significant improvements to their system as well.
Now, what's the number of vehicles that pass through daily? I
So
saw that number and I've
right.
forgotten it, Dave.
Yeah, we've estimated well over 20,000 vehicles a day utilize Route 47.
Okay, so what happens when you tear it up? Where will we go?
Our goal is is one, obviously to keep traffic moving, and again, it's a state project and we need to work with them, but our goal is to do the best to keep the traffic moving, but we'd like to see regional traffic utilize other routes outside the village. We know that our residents will find ways to get around it, but we're concerned. We certainly don't want regional traffic cutting through our neighborhoods, but the reality is we may see some of that, and we're working proactively to put a plan together to address any concerns that come up as a part of the project, and that is first and foremost on our list.
So here we are, 2010. What's the timetable for completion on the project?
Well, we've always thought it would be a 2-year project. At this point, we see a contract. We're hopeful that a contract is awarded within the next 30 to 60 days. So we'll know, we'll have a lot more specific information within the next month or two. And again, it's such a significant project that we think it'll be a 2-year time frame, and so we'll look for a 2011 completion.
Give me a quick update on the 4-way interchange at I-90.
Right, and the interchange project is proceeding. When we've talked in the past, I've talked a little bit about the different phases of engineering. We're wrapping up the design phase right now. We've received the comments back from both the Tollway and the Department of Transportation, and we're addressing those comments, and we're going to resubmit where we need to. In the meantime, we haven't slowed down at all, though, and our role here is really to shepherd this project to the point of construction, and it's a top priority from the village's standpoint to do that. And we're moving along, and we anticipate being done with the engineering in mid-2011. And if all the stars align, we'd love to be done with the Route 47 widening project and move on to the full interchange reconstruction project.
And in our remaining minute, what about stores on the east side of 47 south of Walmart? Anything happening with that land?
We continue to see the same stores at least expressing some type of interest, the Kohl's, the Targets. We've had discussions with representatives from those types of stores. Nothing definitive in the works, but we're going to be sitting down again with all those landowners and those developers here in the first quarter and do an assessment, see where they're at, and see how we can help move along and get some additional activity going out there on the corridor.
And you're keeping the snow off the streets, and everything is working well here in the wintertime?
It is. We're hopeful that it warms up to about 72 tomorrow and melts what's remaining, and spring is here. But we've had another year where December again we had over 29 inches of snow, and that's more than what we had in entire snow seasons in 02, 03. So we know it's always a challenge to keep those roads clear, and we do the best that we can in trying to keep them free for emergency vehicles, and but we're ready for spring.
Okay. Thanks to you and the staff and all of the workers who do what they do in the village of Huntley. Dave Johnson, who is the village manager, Huntley, Illinois. Hey, we're out of time, but thank you for staying with us. I hope you learned as much as I did with our 3 guests here on this edition. And again, if you have comments, suggestions, or questions, just get in touch with us, and we'll try to do as much as we can to keep you informed. I'm your neighbor, Orion Samuelson. Thank you for joining us for this edition of Sun City Report.
You've been watching the Sun City Report with your Sun City neighbor, WGN's Orion Samuelson. To comment on today's program, complete a questionnaire on the web portal or complete the questionnaire available at the Member Services Desk at either lodge. This has been a Sun City production.